My name is Audrey and I work here at Bamboletta, and we want about 2 meters of thread folded in half to be doubled, and from there we can thread our small needle and we can do an anchor stitch at the back of the head. So to anchor, just stitch in place 3 times to do an anchor. That's what we call our anchor stitch, and that just creates a starting place. So at the very center of the back of the head on the neck area, we're going to stitch 3 times in place to anchor the thread, and then we're going to start doing our back stitch working around the neck. So it doesn't matter if you work left or work right, but we're only going to go 3/4 of the way around. So we're going to start going around to the one shoulder. We're going to tuck that shoulder in place again with our anchor stitch to make it strong. We're going to continue on to stitch the whole front of the doll, and then we're going to stop at that second shoulder. We're going to anchor again, and we're going to stop there, and that's going to leave 1/4 of the neck unsewn, and that is the place where we're going to insert our stuffing. We're going to stuff our doll now using the stuffing that we've provided, and you might want to get a tool for yourself. We find that a chopstick works really well, but something long and thin that you can use to help kind of spread the wool around in the doll's body. So just break yourself off a little piece of stuffing, and in that little gap at the back of the neck, that open gap, you're going to start pushing the stuffing inside, again with an unsharpened pencil or a chopstick or something you have handy. And just break off little chunks at a time and keep inserting, and use that tool to work the stuffing into the front and the sides and under the arms, and try to get it nice and even. Try and work around the bun. Bun is the bottom of the head, that piece that we inserted inside, and try and support that with the stuffing as best you can, because when the wool felts later, that'll give support to the head. So once you have your doll stuffed the way you like, and it feels really good to you, and it looks as even as you can get it, you're just going to want to take a pin and pin that gap closed where you've been putting the stuffing in, and then you're going to continue your stitches right across to close the gap. At this point, we sew around the neck twice. So keep going past that center point again where you started, and work your way around the head a second time with your small stitches, and try and keep your stitches in the same entry and exit points as the first ones, just to keep that fragile fabric from getting overworked. Okay, so we're gonna do a belly button. Start with the anchor stitch again 3 times in place where you want the bottom of the navel to be. You can use a fabric pen here and draw yourself a little outline of a circle where you want your stitches to go, or you can freehand it, or you can use a little pencil. I usually just freehand it. So start with your anchor stitch to anchor your thread, and then start sewing. If you look at the belly button as a clock, you would put your anchor stitch at 6 o'clock, and you would push the needle under the skin, grabbing a little bit of the wool, and come up at 12. From 12 o'clock, you'd put your needle back in at 11 and come out at 4. Put your needle back in at 3, come out at 7. Put your needle back in at 9, come out at 2, put your needle back in at 1, come out at maybe 8, go in at 10, and work your way around like that until the fabric gathers. And gather a little bit of wool with each stitch, and apply a little bit of tension to kind of gather it in. And once you're done that and you're happy with the shape of your belly button, do your anchor stitch at 12 o'clock up the top so that you can cut your thread. All right, so now we'll pass you to Christina and she'll tell you how to create the face.